God does not exist based on what science tells us is the argument that many have made for centuries. But there is a great reversal happening where now there are things that we cannot explain without saying that there is a creator God. Watch this.
The universities, the media, the law schools, the courts, the institutions that shape Western society have, since the late 19th century, been increasingly influenced by that materialistic way of thinking. And yet I think the argument is that the science really no longer supports that worldview. It seemed to in the late 19th century, and it became a kind of default way of thinking, but there is a great reversal taking place.
And it's this idea that from the sort of time of the beginning of the scientific revolution through to the sort of end of the 19th century, largely the progress that was made, the discoveries that were made, seemed to tend in the direction of putting God and science at odds with each other. But that since the beginning of the 20th century onwards, there's actually been a reversal back towards God.
Alors, this is an history which is very important to know. In 1500, at the beginning of Renaissance, 100% of the people in Europe believed in God. There was no question. And the Christians in Europe, first, they made science, but all the discoveries of science for several centuries seemed to say that it was possible to explain the world without God. If we don't need God to explain the world, there is a reason for that, is that it does not exist. That is so simple. But even further with Marx and Freud, as you said, because they said not only God does not exist, but additionally, is a danger, is toxic. If we want to make humanity happy, we must get rid of God and get rid of all religion. Now there is a reversal, which is that surprisingly, because at that time, every scientist thought that science would go always the same direction. It was clear, everything was clear. And surprisingly, many discoveries started to say, no, it doesn't work. We cannot explain the world without a creator God.